Strong with the doom, are you? Happy May 4th, all. It is International Star Wars Day. And believe it or not, when you adjust for inflation, the original Star Wars from 1977 is still number 4 on the all-time grossing movie list. That was a big part of my childhood, and I was going to go on a little bit more about this, but the news is not going to let me, so let's get on with it. Iran has attacked the UAE again, and a fire has broke out at the Fujairah oil industry zone following the Iranian drone attack. The U.S. operation named Project Freedom kicked off this morning in an attempt to get ships through the Strait of Hormuz. And coming up, well, we'll let you know how that's going. The U.S. military announced that the operation to restore traffic in the strait will include missile ships, more than 100 aircraft taking off from both sea and land, multiple domain unmanned systems, and approximately 15,000 troops. Iran has stated that it will attack any U.S. Navy ship that attempts to enter the Strait of Hormuz. The UAE says Iran launched an attack drones at an ADNOC oil tanker in the Strait of Hormuz. A U.S. official told Axios that the rules for engagement for the U.S. forces in the region have changed, and that they are authorized to strike immediate threats against ships that cross the Strait of Hormuz, like IRGC fast boats or Iranian missile positions. Iran has claimed by state media that Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps hit a U.S. warship with 2 ballistic missiles. The U.S. says no Navy ships have been struck. The IRGC claims that no commercial vessels or oil tankers have passed through the Strait of Hormuz in the past few hours, also stating that the claims made by the American officials are baseless and completely false. So we are back in the full thickness of the fog of war. The U.S. military says it destroyed 6 Iranian vessels, them little small boats, attempting to disrupt commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, and the IRGC has also come back and said these claims are completely false. The official news agency in Oman reported that their country was also attacked by Iran. According to the reports in the country, 2 foreign workers were injured as a result on a hit in a building. U.S. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper says Iran has opened fire on U.S. warships and commercial vessels today, and the U.S. forces returned fire and destroyed 6 Iranian small boats. Of course, again, the Iranians say that is not true. President Trump, while speaking to Fox News, threatened that Iran will be blown off the face of the earth if the Islamic Republic attacks U.S. ships guiding vessels through the Strait of Hormuz. The UAE has strongly condemned the renewed Iranian attacks, noting that it reserves the full and legitimate right to respond to these attacks accordingly. President Trump's post on Truth Social says Iran has taken shots at unrelated nations with respect to the ship movements, Project Freedom, including a South Korean cargo ship, and perhaps it's time for South Korea to come and join the mission. We have shot down several small boats, or as boats, God, I can't talk today, or as they like to call them, fast boats, and it's all they have left. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see about that. An official from the UAE told CNN that they are expecting an American or Israeli attack on Iran within the next 24 hours. Brent crude has risen to $114 a barrel here recently. My gas price has actually dropped a hair. It's now $4.94 a gallon, and diesel is $5.99, but I don't expect that to last. President Vladimir Putin has decided to announce a temporary ceasefire in the Ukrainian conflict May 8th and 9th. The U.S. Supreme Court has temporarily restored access to abortion pill by mail. At least 23 people were injured in a shooting at a lakeside party in Oklahoma. President Trump has said that former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani is in critical condition. And I wish I could talk today. Kamala Harris has endorsed Karen Bass for LA mayor, claiming she has stamped out crime and homelessness. Okay. There are 2 U.S. service members missing after a military exercise in Morocco. An evacuation is being planned as a suspected hantavirus outbreak traps 150 people on a cruise ship. GameStop, who I thought was out of business, has offered to buy eBay for $55.5 billion. 1,500 beagles will find new homes after released from the research facility. So that's good news. The Dow Jones is currently down 454, almost 455 points, with the new hostilities in the Gulf. CNN reports, citing intel reports, that there's an unsettled Kremlin tightens security around Vladimir Putin amid assassinations and coup fears. There has been 3 more protesters executed in Iran. Anthropic unveils a $1.5 billion joint venture with Wall Street firms. Yep, there's a good idea. Gas prices have rose more than 30 cents a gallon this past week, which actually in my area it's been more than that. And these prices are probably just going to keep going up now that things are hot over in the strait again. Winter storm warnings have been issued for Tuesday and Wednesday for significant spring snowstorm that could bring several inches of snow across Colorado. Marco Rubio is set to meet Pope Leo and the Italian minister and likely Meloni in Rome. 8 people have been arrested at a protest over ICE detention outside of a Brooklyn hospital. Seoul, South Korea has said a fire and an explosion hit a South Korean-run vessel in the Strait of Hormuz. Poisonous black rain has been falling in Russia as Ukraine continues to strike oil facilities. The Philippines' Mayon volcano is still spewing ash. Spirit Airlines says it was doomed by sky-high fuel prices due to recent geopolitical events. A driver was injured after a truck was struck by a United Airlines plane landing at Newark Airport. The OPEC countries have agreed on a modest rise in production as Iran retains a chokehold on the key Strait of Hormuz. Doesn't really help if they can't move it. Many airlines are slashing flights as fuel shortages fears mount. A report says U.S. households could be in for a second wave of Iran war inflation that hits more than just gas. They're talking about food here, which I've talked about for a while now, that the fertilizer shortages in the drought is causing me a lot more concern than the oil. So, hey, I don't know. Maybe you want to prep. Just my opinion. The Trump administration had cited national security reasons to halt the U.S. wind farm projects. So I'm sure there's going to be a big discussion in Congress this week about whether or not the 60-day clock on the strikes has been reset or not. Things are definitely heating up over there, which is just going to cause us more pain and suffering when we pay for, well, pretty much everything. I don't think this is going to get any better. I think this is going to escalate, as we kind of all expected. So you should probably go out today, if possible, and stock up on anything that you think you may need. Food, water, ammunition, anything else that comes to mind that you might go, you know what, I could use some of this. Because I still think that we're on our way to an inflationary event like no one's ever seen before, at least no one alive today. And it's not going to be good because wages aren't going up, although they're trying to make the minimum wage, I think it was $24 or $25 an hour, which is just going to make companies raise prices because they have to maintain their profit level. God forbid they don't make as much money as they're already making. So the way you beat inflation is get what you need now. Lock in the price of what it is now and not what it's going to be a few months down the road. Hopefully everything works out, but I'm not real confident right now. So, guys, keep doing the things. Don't wait for SHTF because it's definitely not going to wait for you. It's coming whether you're ready or not. So, get ready. This is OVP signing off. We'll see y'all on the next one.